All right, everyone, we are back. For those who are just joining us, we are in the middle of CFO Connect Summit Demo Day. So, we brought together the best in breed AI tools for finance so that you can sit back, relax, and just discover. So, up next is obviously a company dear to our hearts. CFO Connect is, of course, powered by Spendesk, and we will hear from Spendesk. For those who don't know Spendesk, it's Europe's leading AI powered spend management and procurement platform that really transforms company spending. So, for those of you that joined us on day one, you heard from Rodolph, both the founder of Spendesk and CFO Connect, that AI isn't just a buzzword for the future. It is truly where finance is going. And it's really a foundational step change in how the function operates. So, it's an area that at Spendesk, we've actually been investing in since 2017 because our belief, all the way since the beginning, is that this is really going to unlock finance teams from spending all of their energy looking backwards at where they've been to where they're forward looking at how they're going to go. There's so much more to come that you'll hear about Spendesk and how we're investing in AI, and that's actually going to be at Spendesk Connect, our annual product conference. So Julie will be sharing the link in the chat to that. So really make sure to join us, whether you're a customer or not. Tons of great insights on where the future of finance and spend management is going. But in the meantime, I'm going to pass it over to Matt from Spendesk, who's going to give you a sneak peek of this roadmap and a window into the types of prototypes we're building. So just before Matt takes it away, a reminder to everyone here, please use the Q&A tab on the right. It's a great place to ask your questions. You can upvote each other's questions so that Matt knows the top ones to focus on. There's great resources from the Spendesk team that are also in the resource tab. And there'll be an end of session poll. So if you want to get in touch with us right away to know more, we're happy to follow up immediately. So with that, over to you, Matt. Take it away.
Amazing. Thank you, Michelle, for the great intro. Hope I do it justice. Hi, everyone. Welcome. I'm Matt, a lead product manager at Spendesk, as Michelle said. And I'm going to be talking to you today about AI and automation at Spendesk. So Spendesk being your complete procurement and spend management platform. Before I dive into a couple of slides and then a brief demo, we're going to launch a quick poll just to see, because I'm really interested to hear from you all, where you think the best kind of bang for your buck is coming from when it comes to AI and automation. Is that going to be automating the tedious tasks that you really don't want to do? Is it going to be, helping you to configure the products that you use and optimize the way that you use them through suggestions? Or is it going to be around like analyzing the data that you have and providing predictions on top of that? So I'll give a couple of seconds for that poll to go out. And then we can see those results coming in. Great. And while we just see those results coming in, I'll give a brief overview of this slide here that I have on my screen. So the current situation at Spendesk is that we have been looking at AI and automation for a little while now, with a mission to reduce manual work, ensure accuracy, and uncover valuable insights. And we've been doing this in a few areas recently. We've been improving our procurement proposition with AI-generated purchase requests to save you time there. We've been enhancing the fraud and anomaly detection with data quality checks and fraud flags. And we've been putting a lot of work into our kind of typical automation tools around setting rule-based automation on bookkeeping and enhancing the approval workflow features as well. Now, we've also got some cool stuff coming up soon around budgets and how we can enhance the experience of you configuring your budget in Spendesk. So that would be, we understand that usually you track your budgets in an external tool, whether that's another tool or something like a spreadsheet. And we really want to supercharge the way you can get that budget information into Spendesk with as little effort as possible so that you get the benefit of those real-time budget updates. And all of this has kind of led us to be, recognized by IDC MarketScape as a leader in worldwide AI-enabled travel and expense applications for mid-market and small businesses. But no, that's ultimately not why we do it. We do it for the benefits that we see our customers getting from these types of features. So far, we've got some numbers for you here around like the fact that we are currently auto-populating thousands of payment fields for our heavy users. We've got a high level of accuracy on these AI predictions as well, around 90%. And this is resulting in about 80% less manual data entry for finance teams. Ultimately, that means 4 days saved per month per customer, which is a great time save. I'm sure you'll agree. Imagine what you could achieve with those extra 4 days a month. But that's where we are now. So we certainly think that we're just scratching the surface of what we can do, though. There's certainly more that we can do, and that's what we wanted to really talk to you today. Is a bit of a sneak peek into what the vision we have is for Spendesk. And I can see from the poll results, there's definitely a bit of a variation in terms of the kind of features that you really want AI to handle for you. There's a clear winner there around automating manual tasks. I guess we all hate manual tasks as much as each other on that one, but definitely a spread there and some need for analysis and projection as well. So I'm going to jump into this prototype now. And just a disclaimer, this is a prototype. It's not available in the product today, but we really wanted to share with you what we see as the future for Spendesk. So give me 1 second as I jump across to that. So normally I start this demo by saying, imagine you're a CFO, but I think with this audience, maybe some imagination isn't required there. But in this case, we are Julia. She is a CFO and she wants high-level insights into her whole organization. So she comes to Spendesk, and this is the landing page that she sees first. It's kind of a window into the organizational health when it comes to spend versus budgets. And you can see from this first table and chart that she's getting a good insight into the overall health. She can see her breakdown of spend and the impact on budgets for each department across the whole organization. And she can highlight here that the revenue team is going slightly over budget and maybe not super realistic. The finance team are also going over budget. I'm not sure that ever happens. In this example, let's say that they have. Now, she might also want to see that breakdown by type of spend. In this case, she can see that their payroll spend is actually going over budget, or she might want to see it broken down by entity. Basically, just giving her the flexibility to kind of get a window into the current health of her organization spend at her fingertips. But, this is the kind of thing we're already used to, right? Seeing the current state of our organization as it is. And we can do definitely more than that when it comes to insights and AI. So the next thing Julia sees is this insight card. And what this is it's presenting Julia with some insights that AI agents have gathered from the current usage of the system. We have a number of these cards, which I'll briefly go over, and then we're going to deep dive into one of them. So we have our spend controller agent, which is going to be looking at the spend data in Julia's organization and trying to come up with ways to optimize and save money there. And you'll see this first one is highlighting that they're going to go over budget on their travel spend. The second one, similarly for the spend controller agent, is looking at peer data. So organizations like Julia's and trying to compare the investments in different types of spend. In this case, it's suggesting that she might want to look into investing a bit more in AI and SaaS innovation tools. And the next one is around liquidity intelligence. So it's actually looking at upcoming payments that may be coming out of her account and suggesting that by paying them early, she could actually save money based on the early repayment discounts that she would get from those. Finally, more around compliance. This AI agent is looking at saving some time for Julia and her finance team by reducing manual approvals by 40%, by implementing some automation based on approval rules and spend limits features. So she's got a number of kind of insights at her fingertips here that she could choose to act on or not. Just some suggestions at this point. But let's say she looks at this first one, this insight around going over budget, and realizes this is potentially a problem that she can look at addressing. So she jumps into this agent now and she starts to interact with it. And it's going into a bit more detail. It's confirming that she's going to go over her travel budget by 50%. And it's giving her some information that she can drill into if needed to get the additional context around the spend in Q1 and the budget that she's configured in Spendesk. Next, she can review some suggested scenarios that the spend controller agent is going to give her. It's going to do this based on the current approval workflow policy, the spend data she has in her system, and maybe benchmark that against some other peers as well. And it's come back with 3 scenarios for Julia to review. The first one is, maybe the lazy one, we do nothing. It could just be that ultimately Julia was kind of relatively aware already that, she was going to go over budget, or it's just the reality that she's going to have to accept and maybe take into the budget planning for next year. Scenario 2 is suggesting some additional restrictions on the travel policy by reducing the hotel cap, requiring more advanced bookings, enforcing economy flights, things like that. And in that case, it's suggesting that by imposing those policy changes, Julia could remain under budget. Finally, scenario 3 is a little bit more aggressive. It's including those economy rules on the travel budget, but it's also suggesting that she freezes non-essential travel and allowing only business critical trips that go through her as a CFO for approval. So it's a change also to the approval workflows. So these are just suggestions for Julia based on the current system that she's using. But let's say she's not entirely happy with these suggestions. And as we're all kind of familiar with the way we interact with AI these days, we've got this chat window down here, and she can suggest, she likes scenario 3. She wants to keep the approval coming to her. She really wants that visibility, but she doesn't want to change yet the travel policy. She still wants to have the discretion there to approve some of those essential trips. Maybe the executive leadership team still need to stay in 5-star hotels. So she suggests that to the agent, and it comes back with an updated scenario. It's going to say, okay, we're going to keep that freeze of non-essential travel, have everything go through Julia for approval, but keep the same booking policies in place. And it's predicting that that would still remain under budget, which is a great result. So assuming Julia is happy with that now, she can select this scenario, and Spendesk is going to suggest that it loops in some other key stakeholders to just cast their eyes over this and approve it. So she shares this for approval. It goes out to Taylor and Tom, and in real time, they get notifications and then they approve it. Maybe quicker in this demo than it would happen in real life, but maybe they were just paying attention at this moment. So they've approved it now. So we're kind of ready to go. But one more step is that Spendesk, the AI agent, is telling Julia that it recommends that we send out some internal communication to update all employees of this new policy. So it's actually penned her an email here to get sent out. Julia can review this. She could edit it if she wants. But in this case, it's accurate and it doesn't seem too much like AI's written it. So that's good for Julia. So she chooses to apply that new policy and send out the communication to all employees. So the AI agent has actually gone away and updated the approval workflow within Spendesk to change that flow so that Julia is now part of the approval for any travel expense. And the communication has gone out to all 60 employees that are affected by this change. Cool. And then she's back at the dashboard having tackled this insight. So to recap, Julia was presented an insight based on some real-time data and a projection. She interacted with the agent to come up with a best course of action, all the while maintaining control over the outcome. The decision still rested with Julia to actually act on it. The change was sent out for approval, then applied, and the necessary comms all sent out from Spendesk in a matter of a few minutes. Hopefully this paints a picture of the type of clean and collaborative interaction that we want our finance leaders to have with Spendesk. It's something we're incredibly excited about for the future of Spendesk. And hopefully after that small demo, I hope you are too. Cool. That's all we have for the demo today. I believe we should have a minute or two for questions. If we have any. Let's take it.